is, the perfect song would be Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Because the song really talks about rising to the challenge, rising to rivalry. And I think within a payment space, you really need to rise to the challenge as it becomes, as you have to encounter those challenges on a daily basis. There's new challenges that comes every single day. There's new problems that you need to solve for every day. So that for me is a perfect song. It really encapsulates the kind of work ethic that you would require. So from a skills perspective, I think you require adaptability. Things are changing all the time within the payments landscape and in the payments environment. There's new technologies that come into the space regularly. You need to be able to adapt to changing concepts. You need to be able to be as agile as you possibly can. You can't have a fixed mindset. You can't stay in the past. So I think for me, from a skills perspective, those are critical skills. From a people's perspective, I think what you require most of all is you want to make a difference in ordinary people's lives, and understanding the critical importance that payments as instruments, payments as tools within the national payment system, within the economy play, and how important payments is for the health of an economy. For everyday South Africans, as part of my role every single day, I am part of the group of people, individuals in this country that ensures that we have a safe payment system, that it's a reliable payment system, that ordinary South Africans can have confidence that when they do initiate a transaction, that their transactions are safe, that their transactions are being screened, that their transactions that they have reliability in this payment system, and that's how you build confidence. So I think for me that's an important and critical part that as payment experts and specialists that we contribute to the success of this country and the growth of the economy as a whole. So the one thing that I do without fail every single day is meditate. I spend at least 10 to 15 to 25 minutes a day meditating, clearing my mind, focusing, because the role that I'm in requires a lot of focus. It requires a tough decision making sometimes, critical thinking. I need to make sure that I'm always clear, I'm always focused, I'm always present in the moment, because my role is so critical to the bank and to the payment industry as a whole. People see me, and I'm a very colorful individual by the way that I dress. I always have the brightest ties on. When I go into a meeting, I'm the only person with a purple suit on, and everybody else has gray suits on or black suits on. And people naturally assume that I'm an extrovert, but I'm actually an introvert. I enjoy spending time in solitude. I enjoy being by myself. And I'm not actually as, in my alone time, I'm actually not such an extrovert. I love spending time with people, but I prefer to be by myself. So I originally, my first year at varsity was BCom accounting. So ever since I got to high school, I loved accounting. It was one of my favorite subjects. And I thought that was the career path that I'm going to choose. I thought I'm going to be a financial accountant or a financial manager or a cost accountant, but I knew that it would be something in finance. And then the first year I did my degree, and I'm like, I don't think this is something that I want to do. I went in there, I did the first year, I passed, it was flying colors, but I'm like, I think I want a different career choice. This is not something that would challenge me for the rest of my career. So yeah, I wanted to be an accountant. In my current role, I'm a critical resource in terms of managing the bank's liquidity. So part of my role is from a rand perspective for local currency. I manage the way the bank handles its liquidity, i.e., its position in any point in time during the day, as well as manage it for the bank's currency position. So any currency that the bank trades in, I ensure that the bank is adequately funded to enter into certain transactions. I ensure that the bank is able to fulfill its obligations in terms of client payments. So I make sure that the bank always has money and that we are adequately funded. So my mentor, when I just started my career, she'd actually started payments, or she was in the payment space at Barclays Bank, and she came over to my previous employer, and she was very involved in the payments landscape for many years. She started coaching me, she started mentoring me. I wanted to go into treasury first. I wanted to go into trading, and she introduced me to payments. I mean, she introduced me to the concepts of payments. I have to be honest, I actually didn't even realize that payments could be a career choice. But she opened up my mindset around the critical importance of payments. I was one of those South Africans that just thought if I log on to my online banking, I'm initiating a payment. There's nothing that actually happens in the background. I had no clue around the infrastructure. I had no clue around the national payment system. I had no clue around the regulators, etc. So she was very instrumental in terms of getting me to have an understanding, first of all, exposing me secondly, and for me to be here 15 years later, loving what I'm doing and still learning every single day around payments and what payments actually is and how it's changing and evolving every single day. So I am part of the team that actually covers the module on derivatives. Derivatives is part of the markets module that sits within the high value certificate, advanced certificate in high value payments, and I'm part of the SMEs that really takes the students through derivatives as a financial instrument, the purpose of derivatives, the importance of derivatives as an instrument. Part of the benefit of being in payments is if you're in a financial institution or any institution, because payments is such a core activity within a financial institution, you're exposed to essentially the whole institution. Different business units initiate payments, whether it is in trading, whether it is in lending, whether it is in private bank, and you're exposed to the business as a whole. So you have the ability to get exposure to multiple different types of business within your organization, to establish relationships with people because of the importance of payments. People find you to be the go-to person for everything because everyone wants their payments to go off as soon as possible. So you start creating these long-term relationships with people. You get exposure to what other individuals are doing, are participating in within the organization. You get exposed to the regulatory environment as well. You get exposed to other banks. You get to interact and build relationships with other payment specialists in other banks and other financial institutions, not just locally but globally, because payments is such a it touches everybody from on a global. It has a global footprint. So you have the ability to speak to a payment specialist in London, in the States, in China, in India. So you build this global network of people that know who you are, because you have to initiate payments to their geographies, or they have to initiate payments to your geographies, and you need to interact with these individuals, and you learn so much more about other cultures, other institutions, other regulations from other countries, and that's it. You actually being exposed globally to payments, and I think that's so much more satisfying for me